Welcome to the Live Wide Open podcast. I'm your host, Randy B. Ramirez, also known as Wide Open Randy, and I'm here to lead you to become the best version of yourself. This show helps raise the bar for other motorsport enthusiasts. Holding it wide open is just what we do. Being a great person is who we are, and living our lives to the fullest is the lifestyle that we choose. Man, today we're going to be diving into the difference between a career mindset and a job mentality. And then we're really going to go into how you can really shift your approach so that you can start winning long term in your life, my friend. You see, like a job is something that you get paid, right? Like think about it like this, right? And I know both of them pay you, and I get it, but let me help you analyze this, right? A job is something that you do to get paid. A career is something that you build in order to create long-term success for yourself, right? And so the way that you show up, the way that you put in the work, and the mindset that you adopt for this philosophy, for this subject that we're talking about right here, it's really going to determine whether you're just collecting paychecks or whether you're actually advancing your life. And one of the most important areas that matter in our life, right? How we make money, how we produce, how we show up, and how we provide for our family. Just think about it, right? If you're only looking at things from a job perspective, then you're going to cap yourself. You're not going to make a lot of good money, and you're going to hinder your family's ability to enjoy the better things in life, right? But on the other hand, and I've gone through this, and this is why I can really speak with passion about this. When you shift your mindset and you really focus on a career versus just some dead end job, the opportunities become endless, right? And you got it. Obviously, it takes work. It takes putting in the effort, right? But you really start to build something, and then long term, man, you've put yourself in a position where you would have never been able to put yourself, whether if you would have stayed in that job mentality, in that job that had a dead end. When you put yourself in a career, right, in a paying position that has growth, and you invest and you show up every day, man, you start making a lot of money. You start putting yourself in different places. You start leveling up. You start providing for your family in ways that you just only wished back then, right? It is a total game changer, my friend, right? You see, a job versus a career, right? The very important thing to understand about this is really the difference between them is that one is short term and one is long term, right? You see, a job is a transaction. A job, like in a job, I should say, you trade hours for dollars, right? In a job, you work for survival, not for growth, right? In a job, there is no long term vision. In a job, you just get in, you get paid, and you get the fuck out, right? So, on the other hand, a career is really a journey of mastery, right? Career is long term, right? In a career, you play the long term fucking game because you know that when you're learning, when you're growing, when you're evolving, the opportunities become endless, right? Man, I literally, I don't want to put too much out there, but when I used to get paid and I had a job, a dead end job, right? And I switched to a career within a decade, with actually say less than a decade, I more than quadrupled what I was making because I was willing to go in on the career mindset. I was willing to go in the long-term game. I was willing to go and put in the work every single day and gain and learn and gain and grow myself and evolve with some fucking valuable skills that took things to the next level, right? You see, in a career, you build relationships. In a career, you gain valuable skills. In a career, you increase your value as an individual, as a human being. And because you increase your value, you get paid more, right? How much value you bring to the table and how much you help that business make money goes hand in hand with how much you fucking make, right? You see, every challenge in a career, this is how you see things, right? In a career, we start seeing challenges, problems as stepping stones, towards a bigger goal, right? Like I literally adopted this phrase, and I got it from one of the owners reps that I was working in one of the high-rise residential projects that we were building, right? He would be like, man, problems are management opportunities. The better you get at solving problems, the more valuable you become to the company that you work for, right? So that was a game changer for me. So I started fucking every time some product came around, I was like, At first you gotta like take a deep breath. You're like, oh, you get fucking stressed. You know, you're like, oh my god, another shit that I gotta fucking resolve. But then it started becoming the game. It started becoming fun. It started because I started seeing the value that I would bring to the table, and I would help solve those problems. And as a result, they started seeing, man, this guy's a fucking go-getter. This guy's a problem solver. This guy doesn't back down. And I started getting promotions, right? I started getting raises. I started getting level up. I started growing my knowledge. And then in return, they started giving me more responsibilities. And I started climbing and growing the corporate ladder, right? And so the mindset shift really is all about stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner, right? And this is a big mindset shift that takes some fucking balls to really embrace, because it's a long-term game. And I'll share this with you, like, you know, at the beginning when you're putting in the work and you're like this, and nobody sees it, what the fuck? But everybody sees it, right? Even when you think no one is watching, people are watching. People see the growth. People see the effort. People see that when you do this over a long period of time, trust me that you will grow. But at the beginning, you're gonna be like, oh, what the fuck, man? Nothing is really happening, because we're so used to this immediate gratification. But this is a long-term game. You literally have to stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like an owner. That's how you make the big bucks, right? You see, employees, they wait for instructions. Leaders, on the other hand, they take initiative. You know, in the job mentality, you hear this saying all the fucking time. Oh, that's not my job. Oh, that's not my job, right? Versus in the career mindset, you start thinking, all right, okay, I see that challenge. You know, I'll take it on. You know, how can I add more value to the team? How can I solve this problem? How can I have the initiative to create the success needed to be able to take things to the next level? Yeah, we have some difficult times. Yeah, we have some challenging problems ahead. But how can I solve this? How can I bring more value? Right? You see, the guy who learns beyond his job description gets promoted first. Literally was fucking living proof of that, right? I was the fucking least experienced, the youngest guy, and I was literally passing guys that had been in the game for years, fucking probably could be my dad at back then, and I was literally getting promoted, and I ended up being their boss. Why? Because I had the initiative. I had the willingness to learn, and I had the fucking mindset to never say that that's not my job, right? It's always like take it on and take it on and take it on. And how can I solve this? And how can I do more? And how can I be more? How can I provide more value? That is what got me to more than quadruple what I was making by playing the long-term game, right? You see, hourly pay versus value-based thinking is what got me to that position, right? You know, you see, like when you're only thinking, oh, my hourly pay, oh, my hourly pay versus, you know, and this grows as you grow in responsibility. They move you from hourly pay into a salary paid position. And salary paid positions, yes, they have more responsibility, but that's because you're going the career path, right? You see, in a job mentality, you're always thinking of like, oh, how much am I getting paid per hour, right? How much am I, you know, how much is oh, they don't pay me enough. Oh, this is I only make this, because you're only thinking about the job mentality. When you start focusing and switching your mindset towards the career mindset, you start thinking about how much am I worth? You know, how can I increase my value, right? Then this is when you go from hourly to a salary paid employee, right? Know that when they give you that shift, they're really thinking that you can handle a lot of responsibility. Because typically employers, you know, when they keep people as an hourly position, they know that you don't bring a lot of value to the table, right? They know that you're not a long-term player, right? But when they put you on a salary paid position, they know that you have something inside you. They know that you're a go-getter. They know that with a lot of work, right, you can grow, and you have the potential to be somebody in that company, right? And maybe it might not be. Sometimes it might not be in that company. For me, I had the I should say the not an advantage, but the I'm looking for the right word here, but it was the blessing really that I stayed with one company for 11 plus years, and I went from intern to operations manager, fucking climbing, and making more money than I ever thought I could be, right? It's all because I adopted the career mindset, right? Because I thought about how much worth I can bring to the table. How can I increase my value? How can I how can I help solve more problems, right? It wasn't about, oh, how I was getting paid per hour, man. Because the truth of the matter is, if I did the math and I divided out how much hours I was working and towards what I was actually getting paid as a salary employee, as a salary employee, like it wouldn't work out, right? But I was in the long term game, right? I had the long term approach. I had the career mindset, and because I had that, man, I fucking more than quadrupled, probably more than 5 times my what I was making when I first started, right? And so, how you show up, right, counts. How you show up, it makes it or breaks it for you, right? You got to be able to have the professional mentality versus just the clock puncher, right? And what that means is that, we all have those people that they're always making complaints about why they're fucking late and about why they can't make it on time and why they don't show up early. But the second fucking 4:58 shows up, they're fucking already packed up, his computer is down, and they're ready to get the fuck out when they showed up late, right? That's a clock puncher, right? That never worked for me. And people who I saw that never got promoted, right? They put them in their place, and they're like, all right, this guy does just what he does, right? And then those guys never got promoted, right? You see, the job mentality does the bare minimum. The job mentality watches the clock, waiting for quitting time. The job mentality complains about, the work, but just never improves himself. On the other hand, the career mentality, right? He takes pride in this craft. Whether it's sales, engineering, or driving fucking race cars, you take pride in what the fuck you're doing, right? When you have a career mentality, you stay late, you show up early, you invest in personal development because you know that when you get better, you provide more value, and when you provide more value, you make more money, and they should move you up in position. That's what the career mentality is all about, right? When you have a career mentality, you work on building your network because success is about who and what you know, right? Literally, I've had some great opportunities come my way because of who I know. And maybe I didn't know that guy personally, but I knew someone who knew that guy, and they put me in contact. They're like, yo, this guy has a great track record. You should talk to this guy, right? And it's all because I built the network and I showed them with my work ethic that I am the fucking man they need, right? So that makes a game changer for yourself. Have the career mentality, right? You see, the work that you must put in order to advance your life isn't the things that you don't want to fucking do. Of course you don't want to show up early. Of course you don't want to stay late. Of course you don't want to do the extra training. Of course you don't want to get better, right? Like how much more easier it is to go happy hour and go party and show up late, bro. But that shit doesn't get you ahead. If you want to just get by, if you don't want to fucking make more money, if you don't want to advance your life, then don't fucking listen to this shit, right? But if you do, if you want to get ahead, if you want to advance your life, if you want to grow in position, if you want to make more money, if you want to be a fucking role model, if you want to be a leader, if you want to have people, because as you grow in positions, you stop managing more so about tasks and you start managing people, and it becomes all about you getting better, my friend, right? Master your craft and get 1% better every day. You see, most guys, they stop learning and they get fucking comfortable, right? That's literally career suicide. Never get comfortable, never stop learning, always keep evolving, right? You see, if you improve just 1% every day, you'll be more than 37 times better in 1 year, right? And that's fucking calculated math right there, right? It really is. Do the math. Look it up on Google. Man, if I get 1% better every day, how much better will I be in 1 year? And it's actually 37 times better than you were. And so it all starts with showing up every day. It's putting in the work, doing the shit that you don't want to do. That is what playing the long-term game is all about, right? Another thing that you could do is you can really develop some high-income skills because maybe you're in a dead-end job how I used to be, right? And so I started seeing, oh, this job is only going to pay me this much. The crazy part is back when I was in that dead-end job, it didn't take me long to be able to pass what that manager in that place was making me as a fucking entry-level guy because I developed these high-income skills. Right? You see, nobody gets ahead by doing what everyone else does, right? Like you got to be able to learn some high income skills, whether it be learning sales. Sales is a fucking one of the highest paying position jobs out there, right? You could learn some fucking negotiation skills. That shit will get you some good fucking positions. Or when you're in my industry, you got to be able to negotiate these contracts, right? You got to have leadership skills for sure, without a doubt, because as you grow, it all becomes managing people. And without a doubt, you got to be good at problem solving, right? So you got to be able to develop these high income skills so that you can make more fucking money, right? And I'm getting excited and I'm passionate about this because it literally changed my life. Fucking changed my life dramatically, man. From back when I used to be a fucking weld drive shafts and be a backyard mechanic and all this shit to being a high level executive for building high rises, managing multi-million-dollar jobs. Like right now, we're working on $100 million job. Like that's fucking immense. I didn't even think back then that I would be able to manage that type of projects. But because I just focused on getting better every day and playing the long-term game, and this was a career that I really wanted to focus on and grow because I knew that I wanted to provide for my family in ways that I could never dream about. This is what created where I'm at, right? By working relentlessly, right? By building my network. You see, opportunities don't come from job boards, right? They come from people. This is why your network is so important. This is why building real relationships in your industry is a must. You want to be known as the valuable guy. You want to be known as the go-getter. You want to be known as, yo, this guy right here, bro, you want him on your job. This guy right here, he's going to produce for you. This guy right here, he's the fucking man, right? And it all comes from you putting in the work. It all comes from you showing up every day. It all comes from you showing up early, leaving late, doing the extra work, taking the initiative, doing the things that all the other fucking people don't want to do. And then they complain about, oh my God, I never got a raise. Oh my God, I never get promoted. Oh my God, because they're doing the fucking bare minimum. It's so easy nowadays to fucking get ahead. You just got to be willing to put in the work. So my question for you today really is, are you working just a job or are you building a career, my friend? Really important. Analyze that shit, right? Are you working just a job or are you building a career for long-term growth, right? And then my challenge for you today really is to write down 3 things that you could do this week to be able to increase your value and start showing up like the man who wins, not the boy who fucking settles. Do that shit. It'll be a game changer for you. I promise you. You could be in a way different position 5 years from now. You could be a way different position 10 years from now. And I know you're like, oh my God, 5 years is so much, 10 years is so far ahead. But would you rather be 10 years past the line and you look back and you're like, fuck, bro, I'm only making like 5% more than what I made? Or you want to look back and be like, bro, I'm making like 500% more than what I used to make. That is the fucking game changer. That's how you level up. That's how you improve your family. That is how you change your fucking bloodline forever. I'm fucking passionate about this because this worked. Literally changed my life that I couldn't even describe how, in what fucking way. Like I literally wouldn't have this work, this house that I live in, if I wouldn't have changed my life in the direction that I was going in. I would have never been able to afford this shit if I would have never changed my track from a job to a career. This is why I want you to fucking think about that shit, right? And really, my final takeaway for you for today, right here, man, is if you want a bigger life, start playing the game differently, my friend. Stop thinking like an employee and start thinking like the man who's in fucking charge, right? Know that when you build a career, you control your future because a job can be just taken away any fucking time. But a career puts you in the fucking driver's seat, right? And I know a lot of people are like, oh, you can still get fired from a career. Yeah, you can. And for me, it's crazy. I worked my way up 11 plus years and a company ended up going bankrupt, right? And when everyone left, I ran straight for the fire and that created more opportunities for me, right? But because I had established skill sets, high income skill sets, right? I was able to bounce and go somewhere else and make more money. I'm fucking killing the game, right? And I would have never had that. I would have never invested the time. I would have never taken the approach of having a career versus a job mindset. So let's get to work. You got fucking work to do, bro. Yo, I'm driving the checkered flag deep into the ground and I'm calling all the motorsport enthusiasts who want to improve their situation. Let's break free from all the shit that's been holding us back and let's become the badass motherfuckers that we're all meant to be. Breaking the stereotype is exactly what we're here to do. This movement is called Live Your Life Wide Open, and helping others level up is the mission that God has tasked us with. If by any chance you still haven't subscribed yet, man, what are you fucking waiting for, bro? Go ahead and smash that button so you never miss another episode. And if you connected with today's message, if I sparked the fire in you with today's message, man, go ahead and post this on your story so I can hold you accountable to making that necessary changes in your life. Make sure you tag me so I see it at Wide Open Randy, because those are the actions to help more gearheads really see about and hear about this podcast. And ultimately, that's how our community grows. Catch up with you on the next episode. But till then, live your life wide open, my friend. Peace.